Listen, we are back for more Windbreaker, and this week's episode is just as good as the last two episodes. Even though there's really no action in this episode, it's the storytelling, right? The storytelling with the OST, with Cloverworks doing what they do, has made this episode so good to me, right? Because we know who the main character is, right? We know the main character is Sakura, right? And then there's some supporting characters, which is everyone in that group. These two, Nagato and Anzai, right? The last three episodes, including this one, is pretty much about them, right? It's pretty much about them, childhood friends. It's about them, which is this scene that you see here. Is Nagato is pretty much, he used to be, bullied, and then that's Anzai standing up for him, right? Nagato did the same thing to someone he saw getting bullied, and that's how he met Kill, right? But what I really like about what they've done here is they actually make you care about characters that aren't even supporting characters, right? These aren't even the supporting characters. I say that because I suspect that we won't, if at all, see them again throughout this series, right? Because they're not part of the main crew, right? We have Sakura and we have that crew that's with him, right? Those are the main supporting characters. But a lot of times with characters like this, they're usually just there for some development for the main character, Sakura, which we've seen some development for Sakura in the last episode, a lot of it. And we've also seen more of it in this episode. But they did a good job making you care about these two backstory. It was just so well done. And the OST, don't get me wrong, the OST elevated it for sure. The OST elevated it, and Cloverworks doing what they do. I want to listen again. I've been giving this season of Windbreaker such high scores because I think it's just, they really stepped it up from the last season, with the character development of Sakura, with these side characters, them telling their story for these side characters and doing it in such a way to where you actually care, right? You're actually like, oh shit, this is actually good, right? Mixed with the OST, mixed with the animation, it's just so good. So, with this episode here, it was pretty much telling us what led up to the last two episodes, right? Where Anzai wanted to help his friend Nagato and how that happened, right? So this scene here, I really liked this scene. So we can go to another one here. And they wrapped up this episode so nicely. It's pretty much just about, Nagato and Anzai, but we get Sakura here, who is also, he continues to level up. He continues to develop here, right? Like, they're walking home and he's in the back feeling bad about, what happened, and he's never felt this way before, right? He's usually by himself, but now that he has a group with him, he's starting to change, and we're starting to see that, right? He's growing up before our very eyes, as some would say. Now, I think with him and characters like this, I talked a lot of shit about this character right here. I really did, and I'm not taking any of it back. I'm not taking any of it back. But that being said, this character with Sakura, he does play a key role in Sakura's development. Now, I suspect we're going to see some development for him too, but he plays a key role in his development because he balances him out, right? He helps him to pretty much like believe in himself and to believe that what he's doing or what he did was the right call, right? And I think that a lot of times characters like him who, like Takamichi from Tokyo Revengers, aren't physically strong, right? They're not there to like physically support and like help with that, but like mentally, that's where he shines, right? And this is that character for Sakura. Not just him though, but I suspect we're gonna see it for the rest of the group for Sakura as well. I mean, we see it with Soul, right? He's doing it as well, helping Sakura level up, and I suspect we're gonna see them also level up through their trials and tribulations as well. Going to this scene here, and this is what was it 40. This scene here, right? This is what it was about, right? You got Chia there, which is the young lady, Anzai, Nagato, all childhood friends, right? Trying to stay together, trying to do what's right by themselves, and this is what these 3 episodes were about, right? It was about these 3. It wasn't even about Sakura and them, really. It was about these 3, and they did a really good job of showcasing that while still highlighting development from the main character. And they actually made you like these side characters and their story, right? It was done so well with the OST playing. They actually like really nailed it for this. I think they really nailed it for this. So this episode, I've been giving all of Windbreaker episodes lately, at least these last 2 from this season, I've been giving them all high scores, and this is not going to be any different, right? This is also going to get a high score, but I want to say it's probably a 9.5 out of 10 for me, because I think it was just done so well. I think the storytelling was just done so well that you can't give it anything less than that. But the last scene here, this with Kill. Should I know? Should we know who this is? Frank there. Listen. It's been a long time since I've seen the first season, and some of you might say, "Well, you should because it was in the first season." I don't remember whether and I probably should know, but it's not. This is now. It's a sick tattoo. Don't get me wrong, right? The tattoo is sick, right? The tattoo is sick. Don't get me wrong, but should I know what this is? Help me out, guys. Help me out, because it's sick. But this person here was obviously a double agent, right? They had an informant in Kill, and he's obviously, judging by his words, he's obviously stronger than Kill, because he said that it looks like Fuden has gotten weaker, even though they were first years, but still. So obviously there's more than meets the eye here, right? There's something going on. Even Kaiji even said that it's a bit suspicious what transpired. So I think there's someone moving in the background, right? There's something moving behind the scenes with this. So it's not just surface level, right? But again, a 9.5 episode. 9.5 episode. 9.5. It was that good. 9.5 episode. But as usual, let me know what you guys think. You think it's a 9.5? How have you been liking this season so far? The OST and the storytelling in this episode was so good that like I probably watched this episode like 2 or 3 times already, because it was just so good, and it went by so fast. Even with no action in it, there's still a lot to be said about this. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's all I have for this one. Keep on keeping on.